How do you know if you need a coach? It depends on where you are fitness-wise, how far you're reaching with your goals. You don't want to overreach. And typically, the busier you are, the more constraints you have in your life, the better you're going to do with a coach. If you have many questions that are unanswered and you can't figure out yourself, that's the first suggestion that you should probably hire someone to help you at least your first season in the sport. I'm sure many of you have friends who are in the sport and you can ask questions, but they're going to answer your questions based on their own experience. And you really want someone to evaluate where you are, where you want to be, and how to close that gap. And someone who does that professionally. Triathlon can be overwhelming, and some people do give up, but they don't seek out the right help. There are so many programs in place. You could find a downloadable program. You can actually hire a coach to customize it for you around not just your ability level and your goals, but they will really consider your entire lifestyle, your kids, your family, your work, and plug it all into a schedule so it's attainable. Is it better to follow a pre-existing plan or hiring a coach? I would say it's definitely better to hire a coach because it will be customized for you. It's like going to a tailor. Do I buy a suit off a rack, or do I get measured and have one built for me? You can go either direction. Both will give you the outcome, but one is going to be a lot more efficient. Some coaches will help you with nutrition as well. I personally like to do that. Not just your everyday nutrition on how to become healthier and more efficient athletes, but obviously race day nutrition, which is a huge component of having a good, successful race day. Triathlon definitely improves people's self-esteem. Putting your mind to something that you're going to accomplish hopefully in 6 months, and the dedication and consistency that it's going to take to get there is going to be tremendous when it comes to building your self-esteem. Every day when you tick off a workout from your list, it increases your self-esteem literally day by day. It's typically where you betray yourself, where you fall off the schedule and skip workouts, where your self-confidence starts to go down. So as long as you're ticking off your workouts and staying consistent, you're gonna feel amazing. Having a coach definitely will help you stay on track and not skip workouts, because you will have someone there reaching out to you, holding you accountable. Always execute your pre-designed plan 100%. Issues will come up, so they can adjust the program for you weekly, daily, monthly, whatever the case is. This way you're never gonna lose out and get off track too far. Coach can definitely catch you before you derail, and the coach is kind of a moving part. You can't predict your everyday life as much as you would like to, and when things come up, you have to go travel, you get sick, or your kids get sick. Obviously you can't do every workout, so they'll be able to adjust your program accordingly to make sure you're still on point with your overall goal. If you've never worked with a coach, don't worry about it. The chances are they have worked with an athlete, so they're going to hold your hand and guide you through the process. All you have to do is reach out and ask, hey, how do we get started? Chances are they're going to get on the phone with you, or maybe Skype call, and talk about the options and how to start or how to take it from there. Long distance is not a problem in coaching. It's very actually typical. I personally have worked with athletes in other countries, other continents, and it's just a matter of finding a way to communicate. Most of the communication is done on online platform, also email, but Skype calls come in very helpful as well. I prefer to use Training Peaks, and I think it's a very common method. It's very easy to see if their workouts were executed. They can also comment on how they felt throughout the session. And based on that, that gives me very good information to see how to prescribe the following weeks and months. If you weren't happy with your previous coach, there are so many more out there. Try to get a few calls scheduled and really pick their brain a little bit about their style of coaching, about their experience and what they see in your future based on what they learn about you, and make your decision based on that. But you don't have to commit to the very first person you speak to. Working with a coach will drastically increase your chances of finishing a triathlon, simply because you're gonna follow the correct plan for you. And one thing that athletes tend to do when they train on their own is they overtrain, they get injured. So it's one thing to know what to do, the intensity, but also when to hold back. Rest is equally as important. Triathlon, especially at the longer distances like Ironman, is it's an extreme sport, and you do have to take some extreme measures to counterbalance that workload.